Okay, YouTube. Anytime now? Okay, here we go. YouTube having a little bit of trouble. So I think I've got this figured out. It appears that the game constrains you not just by raw numbers, but also by type of brigade and number of brigades, and also the brigade's size. Having a brigade that is too large, is the scaling system exacts a penalty, even if, like for example, if you have 2 artillery brigades and they're 6 guns each, and you add, you know, say you add 3 guns to each battery, like I added 3 guns to each of these 24-pounder batteries, that would give me 18 guns. That will cause a scaling penalty, because apparently adding that many guns to these batteries it triggers a scaling penalty. So it's crazy. It's truly crazy. I don't need. It turns out I don't need AO at all for this, because the next 3 scenarios don't involve more than 12. So I'm going to put 1 point in economy and 1 point in medicine. I will eventually need some AO. At least 2 points to get the 4th division, but at least 3 points to get the 4th division, or potentially 2 points to get 5 brigades per division. Because against Mill, the main corps can bring 20 brigades, at least in theory. Okay, so let's start the crazy. I'm going to use Loomis to crack open the 3rd, and I'm going to use Wagner. And we're just going to move a placeholder unit down here so that we can also kick open a 2nd division with Bruce. That uses up all of the officers I had available. But it gets crazier. So what we're going to do with 3 Corps is, well, first we're gonna grab some 20-pounder Parrots and some Harper's Ferries. I did the math on this. It turns out for each point you do with the Springfield, you get 200 guns. For each point you do for the Harper's Ferries, you get 250 guns. So there's fewer total, but they're much more efficient. Doesn't make any sense because the Harper's Ferries are better. So whatever. But I'll take both of those. I'm also going to drain this guy of supply because he doesn't actually matter that much. And we'll go ahead and give Grant his abilities. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create a bunch of units to absorb the excess soldiers here. 1484. Preferably without spending any money. And we're going to buy up a bunch of lieutenant colonels to do it as well. Reboard farmers, 846. Make sure we drain all our supply. Oh, also I've got some things to sell. Not those. You can't use cavalry for placeholding because it costs money to buy horses. But theoretically, I could use the 12-pounders for placeholding, so I won't write that off just yet. And paying for these officers, yeah, okay, it's not that great, but I will eventually use them. So it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, hate to do that, but and we're good. 749 men there. Oh, palmettos are 561. Okay, before I go completely crazy, I think I'm going to need another division here, so we'll go ahead and use Vaughn for that. Let's go ahead and yeah, use a major for that. Soak up 12 guns worth of 12 pounders. That's only 300 guys. Might be better to sell those. No, let's just use whatever we've got. I'm gonna keep these guys in. I gotta do. Yeah, I gotta do 1500 because I'm gonna run out of officers that are worth buying here in a minute. I'm not adverse to buying some Lorenzas either. That brings me down to 3460. I'm not adverse to buying more Harper's Ferries either. Brings me down to 1960. Yeah, these guys have got to go. They're not taking up enough space. So we'll sell the 12 pounders. A little more money. We can probably actually disband this unit as well. $2360 divided by 2 is 1,150 plus 30, 1,180. So let's just make this guy 1,000. Oh, now we got Colts. Yeah, he's good. And that leaves me 360 men, which I can't do anything with. Crap. Oh no, I could probably still do. If I'm willing to buy some guns. Crap, I don't want to do it that way. Yeah, these guys need to have more. $360, 180. Yeah. Okay. That absorbs the entire force. All right, so let's start some jiggery pokery here. First thing I want to do is upgrade all these units. Even if I'm going to disband them, I'm going to go ahead and get them upgraded. Not him yet. Stealth and spotting for the skirmishers. We'll get there with those guys. So the first thing I'm going to do is disband 3-1 rifle. And those guys are going to be the ones who make up the numbers as rookies in the skirmisher brigades. You can see, look at the difference here. So yeah, it's a little bit of an impact, but it's far less than it would normally be. That's what it would look like with veterans, rookies. It's a minor difference for 84 men in a 250-man unit. These guys are going to get JF Browns, which means they are going to use the remaining men to get up to 227 because that's the most they can have. And then I'm going to add, I'm going to go ahead and disband these guys. I can actually swap in a colonel here now. These guys get their buff. And we can swap a colonel in here. Okay. And we're going to create a third skirmisher unit with the remaining troops. Oh no, we need an officer. I probably didn't want to use the use those colonels on those guys. Crap. We've got a colonel here. These guys are pretty good. Disbanding them won't be too big of a problem. So there we go. We'll give this guy Colonel, Karuth, Sharps, 250 guys. Okay. And then we'll soak some of these rookies into this unit as replacements. These guys as well. And one of the units that I need to reset is this one. But I got 1,700 guys available who are all experienced. What does the armory look like? Not great. And I don't have any free commanders. Yeah, I screwed this up. I shouldn't have given those commanders over yet because I need them to do placeholder units. Stats on these guys are pretty good, but they're not that good. Yeah, I screwed this up. I gotta load it back. This is a lot harder than it really needs to be. All right. Sell the stuff we need to sell. Drain supply. Create my 2 divisions. Okay. Oh, and yeah, create all these guys. And most people know why I'm doing this. But again, the reason I'm doing this is because I have a bunch of green recruits, and when I'm moving around my experienced guys, I don't want them mixing with the green recruits, because that will cause me, it'll cause a dilution of their skills, and that is not what I want. Yeah, I might as well. Oh, and I screwed it up again. Wow. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, might as well just get started. $561. Yeah, okay, we're down to buying now. I did. Okay. It's like, wait a minute. Probably shouldn't have, but you know. Okay, that leaves me 100,000 to work with. Oh, I know what the. I screwed this up. I know what the problem was. I didn't buy my. I'm adult. Yeah. Okay. One more time, for the record. To do the whole tedious thing over again. Oh, he can do 846. Farmers. He can do the 561. Okay. Let's see if I can do this right. Disbanding the 3-1 rifle. Give them their buff first. Most of those guys go to the snipers. These guys pick up the JF Browns. They go to 227. They pick up their stealth. Okay. That leaves me with 236 guys, who I could absorb into a unit if I needed to, and probably should. Wonder if I just pull these guys in here, if that'll make much of a difference. None at all. Okay. Yeah, so we can just select these guys into here for now. And we want to refit this unit. Well, it doesn't matter where I create it, as long as there's space. And he's only going to be 6 guns. 1, because it means I don't have to pay any money, and 2, because I can only, that's the limit to the number of guns I can fit. If you go above 6 guns, you get penalized. I tried it with the 24 pounders, and it didn't work. I tried. You can get to 24 guns if you have 4 6-gun batteries, but you can't get to 24 guns with 3 8-pound batteries or 3 8-gun batteries. It makes no sense whatsoever, but there you go. Yeah, good. Give them their stamina back. Okay, now. That leaves me with 50 experienced men. I will put those 50 men in this unit. Try to get them towards 1,000. Now, I'm gonna, crazy enough, I'm gonna disband 1-1 rifle. The reason, of course, is that he needs to be smaller. Give him 1,100 men. And we'll feed the rest of his men, I think, into this unit. Have you ever seen adding rookies make a unit's stats go up? Gotta love it. I think I can get him to 1,100 at least. Yeah, it's gonna get him to 1,100. No, we're not quite there yet. Those guys have Lorenzes. It's 46 guys. I gotta figure out a way to shuffle these guys in. Don't think I can add any more troops here. Oh, I know how I can do it. Because these guys need replacements. Yeah, that leaves me with 21 guys. 1-3 Grenadier is not a unit I want to reinforce. These guys are a unit I want to reinforce. And might make their stats go up? I'll take that. It's ridiculous, but I'll take it. Okay. 1-2 rifle is going to get the same treatment. Wait, how's 1-1 rifle? Oh, right. There we go. 1-2 rifle is going to get the same treatment. Disbanded, reformed. But only 1,100 men. And their remaining 46 will go into these guys. And they may or may not, no they won't. They won't quite make it. But I think I'm alright with that. These guys are going to lose their second star anyway unless I give them veterans. Which isn't out of the question. Those guys are going to lose their star if I give them veterans too. Any place else I can put these guys that isn't going to cost me money. One, two, three, four, or 3, 4, 5. I do need a 6th unit. 3-2 rifle's actually better shooters than 2-2 grenadier. So yeah, it looks like they'll get it. Adding rookies making unit stats go up. I love it. I love it. It's ridiculous, but I love it. Okay. We've only got one available colonel now, but we're almost there. So 2-2 grenadier is going to get dissolved. 2-3 grenadier is going to get dissolved. 1-3 grenadier is going to get resolved. Dissolved. Can you go down here? Yep. Okay. Pull up. 5-1 rifle. 6-1 rifle. So what we need now is guys with Lorenzes to feed into 6-1 rifle and 3-2 rifle. What I could do is disband 3-2 rifle entirely and feed all of their guys into 6-1 rifle, or most of them. No, that won't work. He'll lose his 2-star. I don't remember how many there were. 976. If I can come up with a few more men, I can feed them into that unit. These guys are pretty good. Yeah, and disband them. Feed them into 5-1 rifle. Nope, that won't work. Feed them into these guys. Can I swap out somebody with Lorenz's? Yeah, good enough. There. Current stats of the guys who are coming in, they're okay. All right, let's add the 3rd sniper unit. I don't see these guys getting out with their 2nd star. I'd have to buy veterans, entirely veterans, to get them up to speed. And that's a waste given the troops that I've got right now. I wonder, how much would it cost? $16,000. It's not horrible, especially considering how experienced they are. Alright, well, let's get the other skirmishers up. They'll be under Bayard. It's not ideal, but it's a great deal better than starting green. Okay, so now the question is, when I go in with this setup, after disbanding everybody else, does that work? So let's save this. This one we can delete. Don't need that anymore. Okay, now we're going to disband everybody else. Well, disband all of the other experienced units. I don't know if the stats transfer or not. I'm assuming they don't. They shouldn't. But you never know. Those guys are actually pretty good. I'll leave them alone for now. And then swap out some Harper's Ferries now that we have plenty of Springfields. Swap out some Lorenz's. I've only got 1,200 of those. That should give me plenty of guns to finish upgrading these guys. Still 16,000 regardless of how good or bad the troops are. And that should actually, no, 5.1 rifle, also veterans. That should actually do it. Now we can disband everybody else. I'm beginning to regret the 3 points in politics. It's just too many men. It forces me to do some crazy stuff to make this work. Okay, with the single brigade, yeah, this is the key moment. What I should be is very close to 15,000, a little over. 16,633, so I'm up 1,000 for some reason. Damn it. At least the artillery didn't scale. Yeah, I may have to go back and make these guys 1,000 men. Oh, maybe it is this extra 1,000 men. All right, let's drop them. $15,544. I think that's as good as it's going to get, to be honest. I think Lieutenant Colonel will work for these guys. Just barely. An experienced Lieutenant Colonel. Oh, did I? Yeah, I did. Okay. Whew. These guys, they're going to need a colonel or a brigadier general to keep up with them. I think Vaughn will work. Yep. And we can actually swap in some brigadier generals as division commanders as well. That'll help. And actually, we might as well give him, if I've got brigadier generals available, I might as well put them to use. He's about to get promoted. Okay. That is a lot of guns. That is a lot of guns. Hey, look, 8 Henry rifles are available. Since these guys are just placeholders, we'll put the cheapest colonels here. Least experienced guys. He's just about to get promoted. This guy. Well, Siegfried will get promoted. That's okay. They can shoot fast. That's all that matters. Okay, 2-1, 2-2 rifle. And my recruits, well, they've gone down to 18 firearms, but they're about as good as the Confederate recruits now, with all the experience I just poured into them. So can't really complain. Double check the scaling here. $15,544. And then save this. And now we can tinker around a little bit to see if, oh, don't forget supplies. Yeah, now we can tinker around to see if increasing these guys actually does anything. Like, so if I bump these guys up 50 men, does that change the scaling? Yes, it adds 100, a little under 100. So I don't want to do that. So I added about, with this layout, I end up adding about 600 men to the scaling. I think that's okay. I don't see any way around it unless I actually go with 1,000 sized brigades, which I don't want to do. I can't say I'm excited about it because it's 7,400 guys and 18 guns going in against a force twice their size. Right. But we'll see. I think it'll work out. I've got 2 very effective artillery batteries. Don't suppose I can add a gun. Oh, I can. Can I add 2 guns? Yes. Can I add 3 guns? Yes. Maybe I can get to 24 guns. I don't think I can, though. I think as soon as I add these... At some point, they're going to scale their guns. Because I ran into this earlier. Yeah, there it goes. So I can definitely bump all 3 to 7. Yeah, I don't want to lose this star. Bump both of these to 7 guns. Bump this guy to 8 guns. That should not trigger scaling. That'll give me a little more firepower. Yeah, I think it triggered a little bit of manpower, but no gun scaling, so I think we're good. So the minimum was 14,866, 36 guns. I've gotten them down to 15,576. There's about 710 more men and 36 guns. That was versus my previous layout with the 2,000 man brigades was giving me 20 or 21,000 enemies. So yeah, this isn't bad. So I'll save this. And we're now ready for Secure River. May God have mercy on our souls. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry that took so long for me to figure out. Some crazy juggling of troops and weapons and other stuff. But in the end, I hope it'll pay off. We'll see.